What would you say to the government, employers, and what would you say to the public? Dave, start with you first.
I'd say that this country, more than at any point in our history, needs a new deal for working people. I think we need to give workers a greater voice in the way that companies are run. I think we should have more people who are on the boards so that the experience of workers and customers, we should have more customers on the boards of companies where you provide services. And we need fresh ideas in the world of work. We can't carry on and rebuild the economy and grow businesses on the basis of constantly playing to the lowest common denominator. It is outrageous. Governments are actually subsidising the pay often of working people because these companies are getting away with constantly saying that modernisation has to be that you have people with no proper
You're
contracts,
eating other people's time
no
up,
holiday
Dave.
pay, sick pay.
Up
a
to
big
Manchester.
change.
OK, up to Manchester, Doctor. What would you say to the politicians and to the public in 90 seconds, please?
Well, we've got a crisis in the NHS, 7 million on waiting lists, serious problems with our workforce. If you want to solve that, it is a solvable problem, and we want to help you solve that. We want to talk to you about retention. We want to talk to you about pay and pensions. You are able to stop strike action in the health service if you so wish. You just have to be willing to come to fair deals with us on the issues that matter to health workers, doctors, nurses, paramedics, and across the health service.
What would you say to politicians and the public?
I would say that public services are on their knees. They were decimated during austerity, and now there's another round of austerity on public servants. If you want people to be well educated, if you want them to be able to go to work because they've got their illnesses, they've got their operations when they need them, if you want them to be supported when their families are in struggle, and you want children's social workers, and if you want a decent state and you want civil servants who do the public services which are needed and support the public services, then you have to talk to public sector workers, you have to talk to workers, and you have to stop the longest squeeze on pay since the Napoleonic Wars. You have to stop that. Okay. We've had 12 years of not being talked to. We need a conversation now.
OK. Eddie, we started with you, so let's end with you as well. What would you say to the politicians and to the public?
I'd say now's the time for change. I'm with Dave on this. We have got to have change in this country. We've got to have a fairer society where people are looked after. And I mean that in terms of wages, in housing, in pensions, in the NHS. We need a sea change in this country. That means the people in this country are looked after better, because we can do it. Things don't have to be like this, so we need some change.
And let's also talk about the fact that the strikes are still on at the moment. We're still waiting for junior doctors to have their votes. But from what you were saying, the news line for me is that potentially the strikes could be called off if you get a more promising conversation with the Transport Secretary.
So we'll be meeting the employers today. We'll meet the Secretary on Friday, and we're prepared to negotiate and have planned to right the way through the weekend into the wee hours if we have to.
OK.
To try and get a settlement for next week.
OK.
And if
what
we
do you
can
need?
get one, that's great.
We need the company to stop attacking our members every single day of the week, and we need them to get in the room and negotiate.
What do you need?
Our ballot doesn't finish until the middle of January. There is time for the government to sit down with us and negotiate, and that's what we want to do.
And in Manchester, what do you need?
What we need is pay restoration and a pension solution, both of which are crucial for retention.
OK. Thank you all very much indeed for joining us on the programme.